Attention, attention, attention. This is the Townnet A of the day. I am your net controller, King number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo. If you're around and would like to check in, please come in with your call sign phonetically. Reminder to all that the net is being recorded for training purposes. You may begin.
Juliet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay, keep it coming, keep it coming. Check in, check in, check in.
Ticket number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Ticket number 2, Delta November Golf.
Okay, I got 4 so far. Anyone else? Anyone else? Check in, check in. Check in, check in, check in. This is the Townnet A of the day, the official check in. Call out. Come on, come on. One last call. Anyone want to check in? Check in. Please come now. Okay, we'll begin. Boom. It's a new week. Wow. Monday. And most importantly, tonight, like my tonight, or our tonight, it's going to be Bear flying to Korea. So if you have not yet, make sure you read the messages online. There are magic work to do. And I will be getting a formation put up later in the day and posting a picture over there so you can send your stuff over. Yeah, so it's another business trip. Wow. It's not like it's almost like what, two months or 1.5 months and then another trip again. So crazy. Initially, it was supposed to be like I remember it was like Shanghai or something, and then they changed it to Korea, which is good. She said the hotel is top notch, so this time the hotel will be better. Last time in the Italian one, she said the hotel really sucked. That has to do with the person planning for the trip, not her, and they chose a bad hotel. Anyway, so let's hope that she will have a good trip. Topic of the day. Well, I have some topics, but one thing I want to talk about is the Chinese. So we have Samnonese, which is exclusive to our lineage. It's like something that only we have. So that's Samnonese. But Samnonese is not like a totally new language. It's a Chinese dialect, meaning like the words are the same words, but we speak it differently. So why? Well, many reasons. But the most important thing is you got to know that Samnonese in our lineage is like this is the God dialect. you use it to speak to the God. Okay, so we use it for spells, chanting, and anything that we read to the God, we use Samnonese. Okay, Cantonese is the language that I grew up with and speak, and also for Bear and Kim Sa Chuan. So and Hong, we speak Cantonese. So Cantonese is the human language. So when you talk to me for real in Chinese, you use Cantonese. It's understandable, much more understandable in a way. And so now you know. Don't come to me and go like, ni hao, xie xie. Like, I don't speak Mandarin. Like, I can, but that's not the language I speak. So sometimes, those Westerners, they love to like, oh, I learned a few phrases in Mandarin and they like say it everywhere. I really dislike that kind of thing. Like people come to me and xie xie, like that. I really hate it. It sounds like, why can't you speak English? Come on. I can speak English. You don't need to be like that to me. It's like so weird. Yeah. So neither you learn Cantonese for talking to me, or you go full English. I'm totally fine, right? I'm like okay with the English side. So now you know. Okay, Samnonese is for talking to the gods. Cantonese for talking to the human. Okay, keep that in mind. So because of that, a lot of the books and whatever we post online, if it's like something for the human to understand, we'll stick to Cantonese. But when it's something for the God, we'll stick to Samnonese. Okay. So for example, we have like the MMs, the names, and the names is for human to understand. So we put the Cantonese there. Right. But if you look at like how the spell is recited, it'll be in Samnonese. Okay? So make sure you know. And don't come to me with like, the Guaylo version of Mandarin is really annoying. Okay, now you know. Tina number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Good day to Sergeant Gijan. Good day to my seniors and my juniors. And I wish Bear Sergeant a safe and fruitful journey. She will go to her destination and come back home safe. And yes, Sergeant, the comments about speaking in English and not Cantonese. I can't actually speak Cantonese. I'm not familiar with any of the words, but I think I'm getting more familiar with the Samlonese, and I did not know the Samlonese was a dialect, a different dialect. I thought it was a language that you probably learn from your uppers, but I'm assuming that it is probably like a variation of Cantonese. Some of the words are associatedly different. Well, the words are the same, but it has different contexts or different associations with it. And I am also now looking at the AC room with the rep and everything, and we're going to get that done. And I'm happy to see that we're incorporating the silver and the gold, because it's nice to see how we are learning the lessons and we're getting these opportunities to incorporate it. And that's it for me for now. Back to you. Tenured number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Good. I can hear you are speaking slowly. That's nice. In case you don't know, when I am doing the net, I do not hold my talkie. The talkie is clamped to a mount on the wall. So I'm always like standing and speaking to the talkie about the same distance all the time. So that way I keep the audio more consistent and also keep myself focused, because when you sit down, relax, you kind of like doze off and things can happen. So I always stand up when I'm doing the net. And you get the time to sit all the time after the net and before the net. So it's time to stand up and move around. The Samnonese is taught to me that is correct. But the words are Chinese words. So what happened is, when when the Samlo stuff first started, it was all in Cantonese because that's all I know, right? So I started chanting, and then it was like all in Cantonese the first year or two, and then there was a time where like they taught me the guts to the words, like what this mean, what that mean, and there are so many things. And during that time, they introduced a new way to chant the word, and I learned it. And they started teaching the drag sound and all that stuff. And so they're like using the change of the word as like how you have a save point in a game, right? Like you save it, and you're saving all that teachings inside with that special way of saying the word. Every Samlonese sound like the word is like that. So there's so many things saved inside. So the thing is, when people are chanting in Samlonese again, they will be easily tapping into those save points and inheriting the special stuff, the essence that was passed down from that era. And of course, they can always like update things inside the save point as well. So when you follow the chanting using Samlonese, it's like you're not just changing the way you speak, you're downloading the essence because you're walking the footsteps of someone before you. Tina number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Ticket number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Good afternoon, everyone on the net. Chachang Gijang. Having learned this now again for the Samlonese versus the Cantonese, that is something that Chachan has always said that he prefers, and is one is for the God and the other is for those that understand it here. And learning about the empathy and the cultural understanding, you know, we do all have different cultures. I hear a little bit of patois. I hear other Asian dialects, Vietnamese, Cantonese, and other people that may have other dialects that they're doing. And then it shows, you know, how much we are sensitive to each other, and the ability to communicate within these diverse groups is important. And knowing, you know, improves this actually for us and lightens our abilities to communicate well. And it can also be a little bit of a boost in confidence and overcoming some of these challenges. And it builds resilience too. We have to all learn Samlonese because we all have to talk to the gods. So it's not just one hurdle we have to overcome. We have to make sure we learn it so that it's a joy, not just a task to do. Oh, I got to memorize this thing because if I don't, then I'm going to get in trouble. You know, it's not that. All acting and thinking that way can actually build a barrier up, and then you end up going down the wrong path. So learning the language and understanding the culture, it's good. You know, I think one of the things that we don't want to fall into is freezing or working on perfectionism. Like we mispronounce the word, maybe think we sound stupid or something. I think that may be something that people are afraid of. That might be some of the things that they're afraid to get on with the net about. They might be worried about that, and they shouldn't have any anxiety about that. People will do their best to understand. Ting at number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Oh yes, you raised a point about the hurdle thing. So, as you all know, I know Cantonese already, so I know the Chinese, but Samnonese is something that I have to learn too from scratch. It's not that hard, you know, but it's still a new thing for me. When it first started, I was confused too, because it's like, wow, suddenly like this word is that sound, this word is that sound. And the God said that, like well, not the God that you worship, but the people from the Dialotin, right? They were saying that the goal of this Samnonese is to actually make the whole language so much easier for everyone. Is everyone, including those who know Chinese or don't know Chinese, right? Everyone. And how? Well, think about it. In Cantonese, there's like 9 tones, and then Mandarin you have like 4 tones, and then you have like so many different way of saying the same word and so on, right? Samnonese, they're like, yeah, you just have to follow the sound, and they actually combine a lot of sounds together. Like there's like, for example, the same similar sounding word, they will be like combined to one. And so you end up like simplifying the whole system, the whole thing. And it doesn't matter at all if the human understands it, right? Like when we speak in like normal language, you have to make sure that we can do some kind of variation so the listener can understand what you're saying. But Samnonese doesn't matter because they're like, yeah, the God understands based on your intention. So it doesn't have to be like a language for the human where it needs to be very clear, but it needs to be very flowing and easy and sound good. So they combine a lot of words into one word. Some similar ones, they just combine it, and it becomes so many repeated words. Like you always say, who, xiong, hua, like that kind of word. It's always here, and they're actually different words everywhere. So yeah, in a way, it's simplified the whole Chinese into very, very, very easy to learn. And if you like read enough scriptures in our collection, right, in Samnonese, you find out that like, hey, the same word appears all the time. Senior number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Teammate number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I'd like to greet everybody in the net and Sergeant Kita. Sorry, Sergeant. I just want to find out the Samnonese is it a official language or is the language of the course? Because I was busy the whole time trying to search there on the net, see if I can see it. I know about the Cantonese already. It's official language. Back to you.
Samnonese is a way to speak the Chinese language. Chinese is a language, but there are so many dialects, meaning like the same word can be said in like thousands of ways. So in China, you see, it's a big place. They have many provinces, villages, and every place have their own way of how to say the words. It could be similar, but a little bit different. And then eventually you have like hundreds of variation of how to speak the language. And even like they might have slangs or like weird words that only they speak. And that's called a dialect. So if you write it out, everyone knows like what you're talking about because we write the same thing. But the way we speak it is different. So if you look at our lineage and see our lineage is like a village, right? Then we have our own way of speaking the language. So the words are the same word in Chinese. The way you say it is not alike. Okay? So yeah, Samnonese is not something you can Google. It's only something for the Samlo Taoist. It's our own dialect. And it's magical. It's something that is connected to our gods and what our God get it as the official language for magic work. So they said, if you, like me, okay, if you can like do that from knowing Cantonese to chanting and doing everything in full Samlonese, why can't the others also do that? Like if they come in with a background knowing one or more of the Chinese dialect, they should be able to learn it like you. You know, it's a kind of commitment to show the God that I am willing to. I have faith and I'm willing to learn something by emptying my cup. You know, like that. How nice, right? It's kind of like they said. It's like you see, there's a lot of Westerners. They go to learn Buddhism. They would learn like those Indian language and the Hindu language just to chant in their most original way. They don't go for like the translated version because it doesn't sound authentic. So with our lineage, it's like that too. Okay, team yacht number 2, Delta November Golf.
Unit number 2, Delta November Golf, Chiajan Gijang. Greeting everyone on the net. This is very fascinating to me because even our Chejuan is still need to learn the Samlonese, right? So you have to willing to empty your cup and being humble to learn again. This is like it's a very good example. We also can follow along and learn with the faith, trust, and determination to learn every day, either the chanting in the word or the because that I know in some other countries or in Indonesia because when they do Tao, they using like a mother language, like a dialect, Chinese dialect, like Hokkien, some of like Teochew, some of the Hakka, and some Cantonese, right? From if you are in Guangzhou or Hong Kong, speak Cantonese, and the dialect of the Taiwanese, Minnan. They also, yeah, I met a bunch of Taoists, and they using when they are doing a spell, they're using this kind of different kind of word. So yeah, I mean, God, there's no barrier for God to know or to from the different language. I mean, but the God still understand. Is the most important is our heart and our intention when we are speaking or do the incantation or the spell. So I think that's really cool. Back to you, net controller. Unit number 2, Delta November Golf.
Yes. Well, there's a sect called Loyusan sect. This sect is they're like based in China, but they speak Hokkien, so they use that language. And then people who learn it, they usually like, oh, I want to stick back to the original dialect, and they just learn that dialect. So basically, it's like for normal people, it's kind of like a kind of respect, like, oh, that's the language your God or your founder speak. I'll use that too. It's like I'm submitting myself. In Chinese, we call yap hung chui zhuk, right? It's like you go into a village, you follow their culture and their tradition as a way to respect. So if they do things like that, you follow how they do it and not do it your way, right? Because it's like you're entering their place. So that's how it is. Okay, before I continue, anyone want to check in? Please come now. Anyone want to check in? Please come now.
Unit number 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Okay, I got Gap. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, Tia number 2, Golf Alpha Papa, go ahead.
Tanya number 2, Golf Alpha Papa, Sichuan Gichang. Hello, everybody in the night. This is probably me, my only round. I'm about to start my shift. I just wanted to check in and, hear the voices of my lineage. That's all. I caught a little bit of what the conversation was about. I could say is I'm excited to continue to practice Ceylonese and learn more about it. Starting to not necessarily understand the words, but like there's I would say that there's definitely words that make sense. Like I know Gibuning is like do as decree say or something similar. It's pretty cool to be like learning this language, and especially when I remind myself that it's the language of the gods. I don't like do this like studiously, but I do it when I'm feeling inspired to. But I like sometimes compare the language, right? Like I'll read like look at the right or the scripture, and then I'll look at the English translation and see if I could try to like match up the words. Again, not like a whole lot, but here and there I've done it. I gotta get going. Shift's about to start. I'll be listening in. Tina number 2, Golf Alpha Papa.
Okay, enjoy your day. So, since you're listening, I will try to give you a taste of how our Jing spell is like in Cantonese versus Samnonese. So this is the Jing Mao spell. Samnonese, you know, eh? 天地好心求恰会尽星光还教万家不尽东临天地阴阳恰给明心就业的话牛头好心静静 keep your doing Cantonese 天機好神卻邪為真神光關照萬邪不侵通靈天地陰陽自己定心正人法令通行後神正正及與律令 sounds so weird now. I forgot the way how I chant in Cantonese already. Yeah, it's really hard. The melody doesn't match, okay? So it doesn't match, but the word is like really weird. So yeah, anyway, it's funny because how I chanted so many years of pure Samnonese, like I have not chanted in Cantonese at all. And even when I read the letter, the Biuman, right, that I burned, it's all in Samnonese. So like to the point I trained myself to be able to read in Samnonese. It's pretty cool in a way. To me, myself, I feel like it's a way to humble myself, you know, like you to tell the God, I don't know anything. I'm starting from a fresh cup and I'm building from zero again. You know, that's how I feel like. Because if I bring in the Cantonese, it's like you're a smart ass, you know, self already, you know, like that. But Samnonese really, really put you back into that mode, like you're learning a whole new language. But I have the advantage. I can like look at the words and know what they mean, right? But I can tell you that, like Gap said, oh, you're comparing the words and see what they mean. No, wait a minute. Here is the thing. A lot of the words we use in magic doesn't translate directly. Okay, like the sky and the ground, like ten di ning ning, right? It means nothing to a normal Chinese speaking person. Like they would think it's like sky is like outside, you know, you see the cloud, that's the sky. The ground is the ground that you walk on. Like that's basically what most people get it as. And so if you translate that, it will like, wow, what are you talking about? Right? And yeah, a lot of the words are metaphor words. So even you know Chinese and you read the whole thing, it makes no sense. So might as well not try to make a sense out of it. Like I gave Bea on the whole scripture and she don't even know what to say, but she chanted, it worked. right? Because why? Because like the words are all coded, like they're not meant for normal Chinese reading. Okay, so you got to learn the word, like the meaning of things. When I teach you stuff, then you kind of get it. Like the Yun San. What is the Yun San, right? Like now you know, but if you don't know it and you just read it there, it sounds like there's a god or some kind of god, but what it is, you know? Yeah. So anyway, back to the top. Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenure number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. After listening to you chant the spell in Samlonese, because I know it in Samlonese, Sajan, but hearing you sing it in Cantonese, it sounds very rigid. It doesn't have a nice, smooth, melodic ending to each of the sections that connect. As you were singing it, it reminded me of when I first learned to drive a stick, which is like a manual car, and it had points where if you don't know how to shift on the correct timing, it just bucks and shuts off. So like when you were going from section to section, it felt like it kind of felt like that. Like it didn't have a smooth connection from one section to the other. I think a better way would explain it like actually no, that probably won't be a good example as well, but it just didn't feel as smooth as when you're singing it in Samlonese. And yeah, I think that a lot of people would try to figure out what it's saying. Like when I'm speaking to a lot of the newbies, they're always asking me, oh, what does the hard spell mean? It means nothing. It's just a phone number. Oh, well, it makes me feel this and makes me feel that. What is it actually? And I think it's more so coming from not necessarily curiosity, but they just want to know what they're saying because they don't want to say, they're probably scared that, oh, I hope I'm not saying a spell that somebody is going to steal my soul or steal my luck, because they have no idea what's going on. And it's kind of funny to me because when I first came in, I didn't really think that far ahead. I was like, oh, I wonder I wondered what does this mean. But then probably there's a little bit of like my laziness that kicked in, and I was kind of like, yeah, this is just, it is what it is. Whatever it is, it'll be what it needs to be. And I didn't really think that far ahead. And also, I had like a thought of trying to like learn Chinese when I first came, at least familiarize myself so I could at least understand some of the Samlonese. But then going through that process, I was like, yeah, this is way too much. And funny enough, the same week I decided to give up on that, you said, well, you didn't say directly to me. You just said it generally. People who speak Chinese don't necessarily have an easier time learning Samlonese. This right here is a different dialect, and you actually use Hong Sia Ja. No, Hong Sia Hong as an example, a good example. He said, yeah, like he came in from scratch just like everybody else. So don't overthink it. Just do. And I kind of use that as a philosophy, So yeah, back to you. Tenure number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Yes, Hong is from China, and he know both Cantonese and Mandarin. He grew up speaking Cantonese, but the thing is, because everywhere, including schools and work, they all speak Mandarin. So you have to be in both, and it's already so different. So when he learned Samlonese, it's really hard, he said, very hard. Like when I talk to him in Cantonese, I always laugh at him because his Cantonese is so weird. Like suddenly he would have one or two words here and there that is wrong. And because he used the Mandarin way of saying it, but it's like 50% and not fully. So it's kind of like he changed the word. It's so weird. Yeah, so I have to actually teach him how to speak the Cantonese word properly. Like the word for window, right? Window. We say cheng, like CXC, cheng. And then in Mandarin, like chuang. So, and then he go like chong. It's like in the middle, right? So it's so funny. But yeah, to him, Samlonese is even harder because it's like now I need to know which one is right, right? Like you, There's like more confusion because you have now not only two but three dialects inside that speak the same word. Oh my God, which one is correct, right? So what he did was he listened to the MP3 and he keep chanting along every day, and then he correct himself. So basically, just like how you just learned it, right? It's supposed to be like that. Jing hot spell Samnonese. Thiên đi hô kỳ bay hô kim kỳ sâm gia sĩ vô hoàn xuân giáo sim xin gây kim năng yêu đã là thầm về hoàn gia bay gom biểu sim xin chương chương kịp kịp yêu lưu đình. Cantonese should be like this. Thiên地無記，百無禁忌，三界十方，萬緣皆空，心神歸一，金丹九轉，三雲永安，七魄光明，心神清淨，急急如律令. Still not really my Cantonese melody, but kind of like that. Anyway, Tingyan number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Tingit number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. It seems very interesting that coming from within the Asian lexicon, that they would find this new, the Semlonese, being difficult. I've always heard that English is very difficult because of the different meanings of words, the spellings of words. It's really a bastard language. It has several different languages all mixed up in it, and everybody has to kind of learn it everywhere. And I feel that the entitlement that goes along with that language is somewhat disrespectful. Every other person or every other country has to learn English, whereas the English speakers, we don't have that same obligation. We barely know a few words of Spanish and mispronounce those simple ones often wrong. So I feel that learning this language and singing it also, I know we have a dance. Well, we have a war dance. We did it a few times, and it even got changed at least once that I know of. And that also increases the cultural awareness and sensitivity to this, and hearing it on a frequent enough basis. I still don't know what a lot of the words mean. I just know to say it, at certain times, at the beginning, at the end of certain things, before and after, opening and closing scriptures and beginning scriptures and so on. I know what to do, but the actual words themselves, it still just sounds like Samlonese. It doesn't make any sense in my head, English speaking. So, Tingit number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
It's okay. Yeah, they say Samlonese, you're speaking to the God. So what matter is like, do you know what you're doing? Yeah, I'm doing like the opening scripture. Yeah, then what is that for? That's most important. So that this is the opening scripture, is to do this task, then it's okay. Whatever you're singing, that's what the God will understand. It's fine, right? Even Chengsan spell, right? Chengsan, like invite the God to come over. That's basically the intention. So when you do it, it's okay. The words, you don't need to know what it means because the other side is the one that receives it, not you. It's kind of like when we first learn how to speak a language that we don't know, and then we travel to that location, that place, and we try to speak it to the people there, and they understand what you're saying, right? I remember when I first had my trip going to Japan, there was this summer I went there to do a summer job or something at a law firm, and I was staying at my ex-mom's friend's house and work at the company that she worked at. It's a law firm. So I worked there as an IT. And then I learned some Japanese word like I forgot already, but like where's the washroom, where to find whatever station, and I used that to kind of survive, and it worked. Like I don't even know what I'm saying, but yeah, just say these words and they'll bring you home. It worked, right? So imagine you're talking to the gods know what you want. It's okay. And more importantly, the gods are like, when you're chanting, like singing, right? The changshan spell or something like that. Are you putting your feeling in it? And feeling is like, are you enjoying it? Are you having the passion? Like, I really want to make this a nice performance, right? Like a passion inside. It's like a feeling, right? It's not about the meaning. There's no meaning. Meaning is post heaven. Like you talk to a baby, the baby just feel good, and he doesn't know what you're talking about. He don't understand the word, but he can feel happy when you say something. That's how it is, right? So that's what more important when you're doing it. Do you trust and have faith in the God? That is important, right? So there we go. Senior number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Just from what you have said, like connecting with the feelings and everything. Like sometimes when I'm chanting the things spell, I don't know what I'm saying, and the intentions and everything. I'm just chanting. I don't even know if I'm saying the right words. But I'm trying my best to say the words exactly as the audio is saying. So, in other words, what I'm trying to ask now and find out, like, if you don't even know what you are actually saying, does it work? Like, there's no intention. You don't even know what you are saying unless you go to the English version and follow the English version. But most of the time, I prefer to do the Chinese version or the Samlo's version. So it's important to find out whether, if you don't even know what you are actually saying, will it actually work? Unit number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Yeah, I say this all the time. Magic work because you are a disciple. The God listen and understand, not you listen and understand. Okay, imagine you're talking to me in Chinese. Okay, you don't know anything about Chinese, but you found this thing on Google and it teaches you how to speak a bunch of words. And it's like you want me to send you ice cream. Okay, you say it to me, and then I listen, I understand, I will give you what you want. Right? So it works because I am here. So when you say the spell, it's the God that you talk to that knows what you're saying, not you know what you're saying. You don't need to know actually, but you put your mind into focusing on trying to copy the words, like you want to say it to the point that it's close to original, then you're good. Okay, so remember, you don't need to know the English version or translation, but if you have the time and like Chung said, you're curious, you're always welcome to read the translation of the spell to get a little bit more juice out of it. Right? It's always more fun like that, but it's okay too if you just follow the word and say it like a bunch of you don't know what. When I was young, I had a period where I was kind of interested in Buddhism because I thought it was related to Taoism or something too. So during that time, I was doing a few of their so-called spell, or they call it mantras, and I don't even know what to say. But people are like, yeah, you do this, it's good for that. You can do this, good for that, and you just follow, and it sounds like a bunch of la 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 la, right? And you don't even know what it is, but it's fine. You don't follow, you can do whatever it is, and that's how it works. And I figured out that a lot of the people saying those words, they don't care about what it means. Like, it doesn't matter, I just want to use this spell. I will do it like this. That's basically how it is. So, yeah, and people would even like try to aim for the most non-translated version and follow that kind of that language. So if you like chant Buddhism but in Chinese, it's kind of like you suck. You're not getting the high end stuff. So people would go for like the more original one, and they would like be like, wow, that's more powerful. So yeah. Team Yet number 2, Delta November Golf.
Team Yet number 2, Delta November Golf. Oh yes, Ajahn. Yeah, it's kind of hard at the beginning when you say chanting, but I'm following along all like the Jing spell from the Saturday, from the ACM, and I think I kind of like happy after that, and so I just rewind again and again like every day. So following along with you when it's chanting, So I think that's kind of like learning, and then like maybe later on hoping it can be memorizing on the servers, so I can chant things better. And also I think it's yeah, it's from the beginning I don't know the meaning of it, but I think from the first time I trying to join and everything is just put the faith first, and believe, I think that's the most important part. And yeah, also making mistake. I thought this Buddhism is like connecting to the Taoism. So I used to like chanting like Om Mani Padme Hum and all like that for every day, But it's two different things. So now I know. Yeah, it's just like a disconnect on that one, and get rid of all the mind and all the item and all thing that I had on the Buddhism. So yeah. Back to you, Nathan. Number 2, Delta November Golf.
Yeah, in Taiwan, there's a sect called Pongam sect. It's a Taoism sect, and it's funny because their culture is very Buddhism. So they are like, they're kind of like Buddhism and Taoism mixed. But most people think the Buddhism is actually the Buddhism, but it's not. The sect has recreated their own system and their own god, and like they use the name from Buddhism, like to call some god with a Buddhist title like that. But it's actually just like a gimmick. They were doing it in history because they have to survive. So they disguise Taoism in Buddhism form, because back then the Taoism was being knocked down, like they're being killed. The government don't like it, and they just want to kill all the Taoism and force the Taoists to go Buddhism, and then like shave their heads, and you have to be a monk now, that kind of thing. So during that time, a lot of the different sects in Taoism kind of have to hide away, or maybe they pretend to be a monk, and then the inside they keep teaching the Taoism thing, and so that is how it becomes like that later on. But well, nowadays people forgot about history and thought that, oh yeah, they're related. It's not related. It's the whole thing is actually a Taoism system with a disguise over it to keep themselves safe. But that move actually kind of destroyed it, because now there's like so many people thinking like, oh, Buddhism is still very powerful. It's like the thing is in your sect, and it's not even that Buddhism. It's not related at all. So yeah, I remember back then when I was changing the spells in Cantonese. Actually, it was not really good because the melody, like when we chant, we kind of skip the comma. Okay, like this, the Jing space, Jing Tin Day. 天上地下心为派风三罗光风数据不讲. There's no comma, right? But in Cantonese, back then, we kind of stop for the comma. So you drag the last sound. It's kind of like 天上地下神威八方三羅光風數去不暢斬妖滅邪殺鬼萬千紅衛燒散道喜上傳天地清淨急急月律令. That Cantonese melody. So the ending was dragged. So when you're hitting the wooden fish, the comma would be like one word too. It's kind of weird. So yeah, the Samlonese is much more flowing and mellow in a way. Let's see if Gab is around. Team yet number 2, Golf Alpha Papa. Okay, anyone else want to check in? Okay, back to the top. Tier number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tenyet number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf. Well, Sajon, I definitely could appreciate our Samlonese dialect and how it has a much more melodious and inviting tone to it. I actually enjoy the Samlonese a lot more than the Cantonese or the other variations of Chinese language. It just it doesn't sound as melodious to me. Maybe I could be wrong, but it doesn't sound as melodious or pleasant to listen to as Samlonese. And you mentioned earlier that the Taoism was hiding Taoism inside of the Buddhism because of persecution. That makes me think of a lot of different times in history where that has occurred in different cultures, different religions, like in a lot of African spiritual systems where they would hide a lot of the Catholicism or Judaism inside of it because of whoever was the conqueror and pillaging and conquering in that particular region at that point in time. But if they were hiding Taoism inside of Buddhism, so I'm assuming Taoism is a lot more older than Buddhism, because I did remember you said or you mentioned from a historical perspective that the whole story about how that Indian guy, I can't remember his name, but he's apparently some type of historical figure who came from India and was spreading the virus of Buddhism over there, and a lot of the monks came and picked it up. And I believe you said that was a lot of propaganda as well. That never happened. That was an invention of the CCP or some form of the Chinese government. Maybe you can tell me a bit more about that, because I found that to be very intriguing, because a lot of the stuff that we have in history, especially the stuff that comes from China, because China is one of the oldest civilizations. I can't believe that not that I can't believe, but it's sad that they're manufacturing a lot of these fictional things just to appease a lot of their European counterparts. Back to you, Tinyat number 2, Charlie Hotel, playing golf?
Well, if you want to know like the history on the books, then Taoism started in the Han Dynasty, like officially as a religion, but that wasn't really the beginning. So there were like a lot of stuff going on before that, but there's no internet, and if you don't have the money and power, you might be practicing something, but no one knows about it, and you're just in your little village and no one talks about it, right? So Taoism came from like that kind of thing, and it was never like, oh, we have a whole school of system, and it's all over the place, and you can say it's kind of like started from aboriginal worshiping, like that, and then eventually it become a more systemized version later on. So if you want to say, is it like older than Buddhism? On the books, people will say no, but in reality, it is, because there are other things that were dug up, like unearthed, that are actually older than Buddhism and even the history of India. So yeah, there are things that were dug up, like you can find the carved fu and stuff on the stones and have things like that. So yeah, there are older stuff. Um, I remember I read somewhere they unearthed some tablets with like Taoism fu, and it was like dated back like many years. How many? I forgot. Like in English is what 120K years ago. Yeah, like something like that. It was like very long time ago. But it's just something I read before. Not really like you can find it anywhere now. But yeah, it was like a super long history. Found something. But anyway, the truth is that it like those historical Taoism has nothing to do with our Taoism. So it's okay, like if it's real, wow, cool. If it's not real, it's okay too. Because our Taoism really have nothing to do with that Taoism. So yeah, what we're doing now, it has the cosmetics of the traditional Taoism in China, right? Because we have like, we do Chinese, we have Fu, we have scripture that is alike in format, but that's because that was my background. And also the DLC side is like, yeah, because you want to, survive in this world, you need to have something that people are more accustomed to. If we make something too different, you'll be hard to promote, right? Like people don't buy it. There you go. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. Tier number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Oh, tenant number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. I appreciate having the opportunity to talk today, and I don't think that I'll be able to continue. I have another meeting I'm trying to prepare for, and just printed out the letter, so I want to get that stamped before I have to go back to my desk. So I'll pass the mic to the next person while there's still a few minutes. Tenant number 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha.
Okay. Moving on. Tier number 2, Kilo Alpha India. Tier number 2, Kilo Alpha India.
Team number 2, Kilo Alpha India. I was listening to the history of Taoism and the survival, like how they managed to avoid government and hiding hiding to other temples like Buddhism. I want to find out how many religions originated at. I mean, I did some research, but I want to see your own version on how many religions originated from China. Number 2, Kilo Alpha India, back to you.
Not sure what you're asking. How many religion or lineage? If you talk about like lineage, like different sects of Taoism, there are over 200 sects. Okay, over 200 sects of Taoism in China. But the CCP is like, no, we're not going to accept you. So they say that there's only two, and they pick the two. And then they're like, if you fall into this category, you will be submitting yourself to this sect. And then so they force all the small sect to combine under those two that they picked. And just like Shaolin today, right? Everyone who work inside is eventually a government worker. So it's all under their control. And well, that's how it is. So yeah, but if you talk about religion, then only one religion is from China, which is Taoism. Okay, nothing else. It was always Taoism. And the style, no matter like which sect, it's still like the same style. Like all the Taoism sect, they have only like one similarity, and that is we talk to the God. That's why it's called Taoism. The word Tao represents a two-way communication. We talk to the gods, and it's always like that. So you see, no matter what sect it is, the way we do things is like you burn incense, you talk, you write food, ask for help, and then deploy the gods here and there, like that. Just the same thing in different packages, different system, but Taoism is always like that. So we are like, we send the God to work. You know, we don't do it like other religions is like, oh, we pray to the God and just have the God help us. We're so helpless, right? But we are not like that. Taoism style is like we use the God. You know, we send them to work. So, TN number 2, Delta November Golf.
TN number 2, Delta November Golf. Yeah, Chajon. I think it's really sad to hear that the government controlling the SAC, controlling the, you know, I mean, it's not about the God anymore. It's the government. So the Tao is cannot be pure. It's like already impure. Because the government controlling all the stuff. I think it's the same thing like in Indonesia. The government controlling the religion, right? So they just like you know, manipulating and like controlling the people through the religion. You know, this is really bad, you know, for the sake of the people. So it's really shame, you know, because it's like you said, the different thing is like from religion, even like JC and all that thing. It's like we are feeling like so weak. It's you know, it's not about us. It's about God. It's about you. You know, blah 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 like that, right? So you are dependent. So you keep waiting. You keep praying. Even for your whole life, it's nothing gonna change. Because there's no things like you keep asking, and then, you know, you keep praying. Because I saw, even though many of my people, or my saying like for my family, they're praying until the whole life. They're still living like that. Nothing changed. We have the power, and then we're connecting to the lineage, we're connecting to the God, and then we're using the God to do our purpose. I think that's totally different things now. And then we can do more things for our benefit and for the benefit of the people. So there's a total different thing. So I'm so proud to be a part of the lineage. Yeah. Back to you, Net Control. Team Unit number 2, Delta November Golf.
Yeah, we are not those type that just wait. That is why I like Taoism more when I was young too, because you're more like a warrior fighting for what you want or fighting your way out of problems. The Buddhist is like that. Oh, they're like killing us. Okay, we just like sit down, be calm, and let them kill us. It's just so stupid, you know. And then the GC is like, "Oh, help me, God!" And then like the God is somewhere, but it's not here. God is busy. Please press 0, and we'll have someone talk to you soon. So helpless, you know. So when I was young, I really don't want to be so helpless. So Taoism seems to be the only one that makes sense. Even though back then it was like not Samlo or anything like this, but it still makes more sense than the other ones. So I chose Taoism when I was young because that's like really the type that I want to be. So yeah, it is now already 2:04 p.m. Reminder to all that there's that speaker that I recommended. If you have not got one yet, highly recommend you to get one. It's really, really good. So anyway, well, and the net here, 73 to all, and we'll see you back online or on net B. This is Team Yan number 9, Yankee Uniform Echo is clear.
Team Unit number 2, Charlie Hotel Golf, clear.
Team Unit number 2, Delta November Golf, clear.